Go on. I'll get the next one.
No, not without you.
I'll be all right. Listen, I'll be fine. I'm a survivor, all right? Don't worry about me. Now go on. Get on.
Oh yes, hello, good afternoon everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us this Friday, the 4th day of the month of September 2020. Thank you for joining us on Hello Ladies. My name is Joyce Unebu, and I'm immensely grateful to you for being a fan of this program, for always choosing Orient FM. Thanks a lot for doing that. On behalf of Henry Emengaribe, who's my technical officer, and Chizoba Okafor, I welcome you to today's edition of Hello Ladies. Yes, I had widely and variously promoted today's topic. We want to talk about gossip. We're still on the lane of mental health. How is your mental health? How can gossip affect our mental health? So we want to explore gossip, what it means, what causes it, if it has effects, how do we react to gossip, and a whole lot of other issues on this edition. So let's get on with it without any further waste of time, because you see, time is not very much our friend. Now, the meaning, what is gossip? What does gossip mean? What causes gossip? Recently, a young girl in her 20s, a young lady, I should call her lady, in her 20s, came to me to complain about what is happening to her in her workplace, place of work. She was in a terrible mood. She had depression. She was very sad. She had insomnia. She said she couldn't sleep. That it seems everybody hates her where she works. Everybody, people gather around, and it all, according to her, began with one particular girl who feels threatened by her presence. And when you feel threatened by somebody's presence, it means you are envious or jealous of that person. You feel that person has come to take over, something you've been enjoying. You feel threatened, you are scared, you are afraid. Spirited person, you lash out, you could cook up stories about this person and then spread it. And that's just what's happening to this young girl as I speak to you now. In fact, I had spent some time with her 2 days ago. So she was pouring her soul out. She was weeping. She's been gossiped about. She's been, talked about. Especially some of those things we talked about her are untrue. And these people, all these mean-spirited people will link other people to also join in the campaign of calumny and hate. And this girl is devastated. She cries all the time. She weeps. At night she can't sleep. And now she's resorted to taking sleeping tablets. And I told her, you're too young to suffer like this, just because of some stupid talks. But people who are doing this have no idea what they are putting somebody's daughter through. You see, they don't know this girl is on the brink of losing her sanity because of what they are doing. You see the danger. If anything happens to this girl, probably if she commits suicide, will these people be free of her death? No, of course not. But they don't know. You see, this world is a mystery. And what goes around, as we used to say in those days on this station, what goes around always comes around. When you gossip about somebody to the extent that this person suffers this way, and probably on the brink of maybe becoming insane, losing her life through suicide or things like anything like that, then you should be held responsible. Even if you do not know it, God in heaven is taking note, and He is taking note of what you've done and the consequence of what you did. Now, it is the backdrop or the platform on which I will stand as we explore gossip. Today's topic, meaning of gossip. Gossip simply means a conversation about other people, typically about details of their lives that may not be true. A conversation about other people. Maybe I get into conversation with Chizoba here, we start talking about somebody, things that are not true. The bottom line there is, it's a conversation about somebody, and this conversation, these tales, these stories about this person are not true. Talking about other people's private life or their lives generally in a negative way, it is typically about other people's details of other people's lives that may not be true. Gossips usually happen and thrive. Why? Because of the fickle-mindedness of so many of us who receive such gossips and even go further to act on them. This is especially so when the recipients of gossips act on what they hear. You hear that this girl, that one, she's so loose. She sleeps around. Oh, really? And instantly you hate somebody. We may not even know. You just heard. And you don't know where that gossip is coming from the pit of hell, from envy, from jealousy. You don't know the truth. We talk about causes. You just believe and begin to act on it. That's a morally huge offense, a hugely moral offense, honestly. Okay, so you see, gossip thrives because of the way we react to them. We take them up, we begin to act on them. We don't like somebody because, people said she's this or he is this. Now, this is especially true when recipients of gossip act on what they hear. But gossips can easily die if people who hear them don't act on them. Okay? Gossips are so serious that they can cause a whole set of reactions or negative reactions on the victims. Everyone gossips once in a while. And that is why I would like to say there are gossips that are not so deadly. Once in a while, talk about, you can say, if he had a baby, she had a baby boy, but she wanted to have a baby girl. She was praying for a baby girl. Oh, poor Ify. This is gossip. Ify is not there. You see, gossips happen usually. There are gossips when the person is not present. We are talking about Ify's life, private life, what she wished for that didn't come to pass. This is gossip. But it is not the deadly and devastating gossip. Light-hearted gossip. Gossip that cannot kill somebody. That gossip that may not hurt somebody. Okay? So everyone gossips once in a while, but then there is what one might classify as good and bad gossip. It is different from rumors, put downs, when you put somebody down, propaganda, because it involves talking about people who are not present, people who are absent, Malicious gossips involve betraying a confidence and spreading sensitive information that is not true. This is malicious, and that's actually what we are talking about, the malicious angle, aspect, perspective of gossip. Gossip generally, like I have said, everyone does that, but there is cruel gossip, malicious gossip, devastating gossip, and then there is light-hearted gossip. There is gossip that isn't so bad. Now, let's talk about the causes of gossip. You see, some researchers believe that gossip can be positive, and indeed, they believed it helped our ancestors to survive. Think back to generations past, when they didn't have telephones to distract them, the internet and all of that. Today, you can be in front of your system, you can be with your phone all day long. So there wouldn't be time to, to gossip about anybody. You're just there with your phone. Anyway, gossips can also occur on the social media platforms. You see. Okay, so it's almost unavoidable. Anyway, some researchers believe that gossip can be positive and that in fact it did help our ancestors to survive. However, gossips, it has been proven, can be quite destructive and affect people's mental health, sometimes even leading to suicide. In fact, recently I read the story. It was quite a celebrated case in the United States of a young man quite young. I think he was still a teenager. And this story started. This story began about him sleeping with somebody. Somebody started it. A girl he had a problem with. He had an issue with this young girl. They are all in college. I think not college, high school. Yes. Can you imagine how young? Still young at that impressionable stage of human development. Okay, this gossip about this young man began. The thing was welling round and round and round. It got out in the open. His parents got to hear about it everywhere. But people who knew him, his family, his siblings, didn't believe that gossip because they know their brother. They say he's not like that. But the gossip kept welling and welling around. And people were, abroad, it can be callous abroad. People started trolling him on social media platforms. People started writing about him. People started accusing, calling him names. Whenever he walks on the street, people throw things at him and all of that. Do you know, this young man dropped a suicide note. He took his life. He said he couldn't take it anymore. Everybody hates him, blah, blah. And before you knew it, he's gone. And he was apologizing to his mom, to his sister, only sister, on the note. Yes, this happened recently. I wish I had dug it up. I tried to dig up the story because I used it on one of my programs. The young man committed suicide just because of gossip. You see, gossip can be deadly because you don't know the mental health, the state of somebody's mental health. You don't know what somebody else can take, another person mightn't. Somebody can kill himself over something you consider little or nothing. That's why it is dangerous, especially the malicious one. So let's be careful how we spread false information about other people. I have been a victim of gossip, and it's not funny. Somebody jealous. Anyway, we'll talk about the causes now. We are into the causes. However, gossips, it has been proven, can be quite destructive and affect people's mental health, sometimes even leading to suicide. Now we shall explore the reasons why people gossip. First and foremost, according to my list here, what I have, my script, I placed envy and jealousy as number one reason why people gossip. There are so many other reasons. We'll talk about them too. People gossip or tell tales about other people whose beauty, popularity, talent, lifestyle, achievements, etc., they envy or are jealous of. You see somebody else making waves. This is your friend. You're all, girlfriends. But one person outshines the other. The person is talented. The person is popular. The person, everybody is talking about that person nicely. Everybody is saying nice things about this person. And somebody among the group of friends becomes what? Envious, jealous of this person. And what happens? It does. Because this envy, when you don't watch it, when it's coming up, you need to watch it because it's demonic. Because once it starts and you allow it to build and build, and it will push you to do things maybe ordinarily you mightn't do. Now, this person starts saying, everybody likes her. Not everybody likes me. Maybe you just drop one story, false story like that about this person. Before you know it, this story is welling round and round and round. Before you know it, you are getting other people to believe the story you dropped about this person you are envying. You are envying that person's beauty, person's popularity, talent, lifestyle, achievements, etc., etc. You're envious of these things about this person. You can't take it. Envy or jealousy pushes you to sell a story, a false story about this person. You begin by damaging the character of this person, driven by jealousy. And you begin to drop the tale around and almost force people to buy into your story. And before you know it, that is what happened to this young girl. Before you know it, the stories are spreading. Before you know it, this young girl comes into a room filled with people, her colleagues, her co-workers. Nobody greets her. She begins to wonder, what have I done? You can imagine the effect of this on somebody's mental health. At the place you're working, you're in maybe like this now in the studio, there are lots of people, colleagues of yours, who had heeded or been on speaking terms with you. Suddenly, they see you and everybody keeps mum or people begin to walk away. This can destroy somebody. So envy, jealousy is often at the root of gossip and spreading gossips. Now, another reason why many people engage in this is people are angry out of anger and vengeance. People want to avenge a wrong you did to them, okay? Sometimes, okay, you did something, even if you had apologized, they get so hurt, they begin, it's okay, I'll get you. And getting you could be by means of gossiping, saying false things, accusing you falsely, and allowing the story to spread. You see, that's what happens. People gossip or tell tales about other people not that. This is out of anger. They make disparaging remarks, sell it, drop it somewhere, and it begins to spread. Before you know it, you become a victim of gossip. Sadly, many people don't, find out. They believe that's, I said it earlier, gossip thrives, because of the kind of recipients, the kind of people we are. Many of us who receive these gossips, who hear them, allow these things to thrive. We believe them and act on them without investigating, without taking our own decisions, without making an effort to find out whether it is true or not. Well, after being a victim, I don't buy any gossips. I can listen. It may make me listen, but I throw it off until I have an encounter with the person being gossiped about. You see, that's just the thing. Gossips thrive because you, me, and so many of us allow them to thrive. We receive them, we chew them, we imbibe them, and we begin to act on them. We hear that, this girl, the new girl on the block is loose. I knew her. I was so place behind. You don't know this new girl on the block. Somebody just spoils your mind, and you allow that person to, win you over on her evil side. And you begin to act. The new girl on the block, even if she had been loose in the past, she may have changed. She may have just been changed environment. We are not many people know her, and already somebody is poisoning your mind against the new block. Somebody you never knew from Adam. You don't need to believe those people who tell you things about other people. Now, envy, we identify it as one of the main causes. The main cause of gossip for those who gossip. People also gossip out of vengeance. They want to avenge a wrong you did to them. They begin to make disparaging remarks about you. And before long, many other people, because many of us are fickle-minded, and gossips, those who gossip know this fact. And they know that, well, if we drop this word, people will believe me. I'll get people on my side. Okay? So people gossip out of vengeance. They want to get back at you for what you've done to them. Now, people also gossip out of inferiority complex. I think this is closely linked with what I talked about earlier on, like jealousy. People feel inferior about other people's talents, beauty, way of lifestyle. People who are happy. You see a friend who is married and happy in her marriage. You have this complex because your own life isn't. You're not happy with your own life. You feel you have identity issues, and people who feel inadequate, especially when they focus on other people's lives, are also prone to gossip, spread false stories about people who they look up to as better than they are. People who have a complex, they don't feel good about themselves. They always feel that other people are better than they are. Such people are usually gossip mongers, those who spread gossip about other people. Now, the next reason is boredom. Boredom or idleness. People are bored with their lives, so they look for distractions. People are idle. People are not doing anything. They often say housewives who don't have much to do, lazy housewives, always spread gossips about other people. Just check your neighborhood. Check out those people who gossip the more. There's a lady, one time I heard this story about a lady in a neighborhood who said, well, that she knows everything that happens in each person's life in this compound. Can you imagine? That person is certainly idle. You know everything that happens in people's lives. You always poke nose and you want to know, poking nose into other people's affairs, wanting to know what's going on in their lives. It means you don't have much doing. So idleness or boredom is one more cause of gossip. Gossip sometimes can be a product of idle, lazy people who don't have anything doing. Busy people are too occupied to gossip about others. Also, people who are bored with their own lives will also find time to gossip as some sort of distraction. Okay, people also gossip because they want to feel superior. This is linked with inferiority complex as well. People who don't feel good about themselves, especially those with low self-esteem, tend to feel better when they judge others negatively, when they talk about other people negatively. It makes them feel good. When they disparage other people, they gossip about other people, spread lies about other people. It makes them feel a bit superior, they paint themselves better and makes them feel good. Well, when we come back, we shall go on a break. I love playing Flavor a great deal. I enjoy his music, and I think Henry Emery, who's my music advisor this afternoon, has quite a number of Flavor's songs here. We shall go on a break with one of those songs. When we come back, we shall talk about responding to gossips. How do I respond to gossips? Join us again. I love this.
Hey, babe. You little heartbreaker. And you, sexy sweet love maker. When I tried to lay my hand upon your head, you made me scream and joy. Hey, you are too good. I want to take you home.
Home?
I don't need no how.
Okay.
You are all mine. Oh, my little girl.
I'm for real.
I'm for real.
Girl, I want you to know that I'm for real. Girl, I want you to know that I'm for real. I'm for real.
Is it Flavor? Henry? Okay.
I'm for real.
But it doesn't sound like his voice. Sounds a bit different.
This is a remake of another song. Oh, but it's not a remake of somebody's song.
The king of that.
I know at the name, somebody has not done this instrumental before.
The king of light.
It's not like a remake.
I see. Oh, yeah. Oh, fully. I don't know. I hope I'm busy.
I'm for real.
I'm for real.
Girl, I want you to know that I'm for real. Girl, I want you to know I'm for real, baby. Girl, I want you to know that I'm for real.
I'm for real. That's Flavor. I'm for real. Yes. So when I look at you, my goodness, oh, my heart, my this, don't mind Flavor. I hope you enjoyed listening to that. Wow. Welcome back to Hello Ladies on 94.5 Orient FM. It comes up every Friday at from 3 minutes past 5. 5 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. And while we are at it, don't forget to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and type Joyce Unebu, and wow, everything will open. You can also watch some of my videos there. Just click on the subscribe button. I would love you to do this for me, please. Thank you very much. Now we are talking about gossip today on this show. We are exploring the meaning of gossip, why people gossip, consequences of gossip, responding to gossip. Now, we want to talk about, we have already explored the causes, the different causes of gossip, which include envy, jealousy, which I made number 1 on my list, out of anger. People gossip out of anger too. Our anger against you, or out of vengeance. They want to avenge a wrong you did to them. People also gossip out of inferiority complex. They gossip out of boredom or idleness. When you're too idle, don't be an idle person, because it will predispose you to gossiping about other people with good lives, People also gossip to feel superior, Now, people, how do we respond to gossips? Like earlier stated, gossips thrive because of the way and manner they are received or responded to. How we respond to gossips can go a long way towards promoting gossips. When you are fickle and believes everything you hear about others, and you act on them, believing, no, you can hear such things, but believing and acting on them is another thing altogether. You see, when you hear and act on them, chances are the gossip, that's the person who brought you the story, the false story, will come back with more gossips. But if somebody comes in with a gossip, a piece of gossip, a piece of information that you're not sure is true, but which you suspect is certainly false, and you change the subject or say things like this, that's how you respond to them. Now, how you should respond. They come with this and say things like, you can say, well, I noticed that you like talking about Joyce. Why? So many people love to talk about Meghan Markle. People keep talking about her. Watch her every move. Why? You don't have any life. Get a life. So you respond, like when people start talking, Joyce did this, Chizoba did this, you say, I noticed that you like talking about Joyce. Why? You must like Chizoba a lot to be occupied with what is happening in her life. These are responses you give to people, you shut them off, shut them up, shut them off, shut them out. Not when they say, not when they come and say, tell me something. Tell me a story. Your ears are open wide. You want to grab more. You don't want to know. Well, you can listen, but please don't act on them. Now you say, instead of that, tell me more. Is this what's been going on? My dear, hey, tell me more. Talk to me. Instead of saying all this, say, Go, babe, I noticed that you like talking about Joyce so much. Why? Why is that? The person will be like, Or you say, what's happening? You say, wow, you must like Chizoba a lot to be so occupied with what's happening in her life. That's another reply you give. Another one, I beg, leave that thing. Let's talk about something more positive. And now let's decide on what we are going to do instead of talking about, Or you can say, well, baby, I feel uncomfortable listening to these kinds of gists. These are all ways we can, respond to gossips when they come. All right? Only very unwise people act on what they hear about others. Never, ever act on what you hear about other people. Never act on a gossip about others because you're not sure. You're acting on those things you hear, which might eventually lead to somebody's death. I already cited the story of a young boy. I think he's a Nigerian even, but they reside in America. He took his own life because somebody he had a brush with, somebody he had an issue with, started a gossip about him. Started telling people what he didn't do, that he did something which he didn't do. Okay? And this thing, everybody, before long, other people were talking about him. The gossips, they're welling round and round about this boy. And, oh no, please, could you stop distracting me? They started talking about this young boy, and before long, you know what happened? The boy dropped a suicide note and took his own life. It can be that bad. It can get to that. So stop acting on what you heard about other people. You are an adult. Never hate somebody because of what you heard about them. Please. It is so wrong to do that. By the way, and after all, you are an adult. Find out the truth yourself. Make an effort. You never know from where the gossip is coming. It could be from the pit of hell of somebody else's envious, jealous heart. It may be from a heart full of jealousy and envy. And the insecure gossip not gossip, the insecure gossip, that this person who is very insecure, spreading false stories about others, simply wants to conscript weak and foolish people to help him or her fight somebody who she is jealous of, because they are better than them, more intelligent, more talented, more beautiful, more achieving. Don't be that weak and foolish person that should be used to fight a cause you do not know anything about, that could even swallow your head. You see what I mean? So gossips thrive because of the way we respond to them. You are unwise and you may be considered foolish if you begin hating somebody because what you heard about them. Please don't do that. If you have been a victim of gossip, you will understand. You will never hate anybody based on what you've heard. Those things, those stories you've heard may be complete falsehood. You see? And you may regret it eventually. In fact, the story of a girl I told you, how did she know that she had done anything wrong? She just walks into a place and people hate her. People began to about her, soup on her. She was bewildered because she thought she did it. She hadn't done anything. Even she told me, she said, Auntie Joyce, you see, because of that, I try to belittle myself. I try to even pretend I don't know certain things. I ask them so that they don't feel I feel, Imagine the kind of mental torture they are giving to this girl. And how did she find out? Somebody from the group watching her and discovering that this girl is innocent. She's not as bad as they are painting her. Approached her to let her in on what is going on. You see what I mean? That person is wise. That person is intelligent. You hear somebody's story is flying around about somebody. Don't just embrace that story. Don't just believe it. It might well be untrue. Please never hate somebody because of what you heard about those people. Make out time, make an effort, find out whether they are true or not. Discover yourself. Give people chances. Get to know them before you make up your mind what to believe. Okay? Don't be that weak and foolish person that another person will use to hate somebody, even when you've never ever had anything to do with that person. Okay? Yeah, so that's about the way we handle, the way we respond to gossips. Now, when we go on, after we've been on another break, we shall take a look at the consequences. I've even mentioned some of them in passing. The consequences, the effects of gossip. But first of all, let me acknowledge those who are watching, who are joining us from across the globe. Thanks a lot. Princess Lynn RJ, thank you for joining us. And I have Justin Chinedu. Thanks a lot. You can also drop your own comments. What do you think of gossip? Have you been a victim of gossip before? How did you take it? How did you handle it? Did it cause you sleepless nights like it's causing a young friend of mine? Mona Chimso, thank you. We should be careful because they can also be talking about you with others. Precisely my point. Touché. Thank you very much. That's just it. The gossip who comes to tell you about other people can go back and talk about you. It happens. And the vicious circle keeps repeating. Okay? In my own case, I told you I had been a victim. Oh, I had been a victim. But you've got to be strong. I'm strong. You've got to be strong too. Try to be strong, how to handle it. Don't let it weigh you down. Those people are human beings. Okay? Walk tall. Work harder. That's the advice I give people who have been gossip. Work hard. Harder. Let that green eyes. Let their eyes keep turning green and green and green with envy. Work hard. Continue working hard. Be the best you can. And one day they'll come round. They come seeking your face because you've become popular and famous, and they now want to be your friend. It can happen, and they will now start telling you what each person said. Such things happen. All right, thank you, Munachim. So thanks a lot, Nki Nkemu Gochuku. Thank you. You are amazing. Thanks a lot. You too are amazing. God bless you. We'll get back. We'll continue the show after a very brief timeout. And now when we come back, we'll talk about the consequences, how it can affect people. Stay with us. It's still Flavor. Me and Flavor. When will I meet Flavor to interview him? I would love to do that. Yeah, honestly, maybe I'll check him out. You know, I am on live. I'm on live streaming. Please, can you go and come back later after this? You're distracting me. I beg you.
Someone live program. When I got something to be something to see, I'm not coming to sit down. I'm going to let you ask me over here. Put the cancer back, put the camera here. I'll never let you down. See, somebody will say sometimes, something, imagine something. What I found that special one is you. I found that special one.
Let's go. My time. Oh yes, I found a special someone in you. You're welcome back to the show. Uchenna Ofo, thank you. Antonia Okaga, a friend in US, thank you so much for joining. A wave. And Paul Nze says he's enjoying the show. Thanks a great deal, Paul. Welcome back. Finally, let's talk about the consequences. Very, very brief. Maria Chinwema is my friend. Chinwema, how is our baby? Thank you for joining the show. Now, gossip makes us believe lies. These are the consequences. Now, when gossip spread, truth sometimes disappears, and people believe the lies which tarnish other people's images. Gossip tears friendships apart. Gossip tears friendships apart. Gossips destroy families. Gossips destroy the love husbands and wives have for each other. Gossip tears families apart. This is so true. Many divorce cases we have today were caused by gossip, pieces of gossip here and there. Okay, there are, I've heard the story of a jealous woman who heard a piece of gossip about her husband. Somebody called her on the phone and said, "Baby, I saw your husband near the library. He parked there. He's gisting with one beautiful girl. Maybe I think they had gone somewhere. They gone to a hotel to enjoy, to have fun, and now he's dropping her off. If you rush to that place, the lady, do you know what she did? She bought a gallon of fuel to burn her husband, the girl, you see, a jealous act, and to burn her husband's car. But luckily, this didn't happen. Something else. Anyway, I'll tell that story another time because we don't have time now. Let's keep exploring the consequences. Gossip tears families and friendships apart, tears marriages apart, destroys marriages. One little word that is untrue can set homes on fire, can even set whole cities on fire. Okay? Gossip spreads hate. Yeah, it brings about hate. You hate people. You hate people you haven't even seen because of what you heard about them. That's why I said do not act on what you have heard about other people. Gossips create more gossip. It destroys people's self-esteem. Like the young girl who confided in me, who was telling me about how she feels that everybody hates her. She's now feeling sorry for herself. She's now thinking something is wrong with her. Her self-esteem is at its lowest ebb. She's doubting her self-help. She's trying to feel, to be obsequious before these people whom she's better than. all because she wants to be accepted by them. You see, only small pieces of gossips can cause these terrible things. It teaches people to disrespect. When you gossip about your seniors, people, your superiors, your bosses, your parents, older people, when you make rude remarks about them, you're teaching other people to also disrespect those other people. And that's exactly what happened. When I had experience of this gossip, when I was a victim, the big gossips will influence the little ones. You make rude remarks about your bosses, your teachers, and the younger ones watching you will join, in that trend. You have taught them through your gossip to disrespect superior authorities. You see, gossip can cause depression. Gossip can make other people depressed. We talked about depression last week. Gossips can make people to be filled with anxiety. Gossip can cause eating disorders, and ultimately, gossips, especially malicious ones, can lead people to commit suicide. Like the case I cited that happened in the United States about a young man, who had to take his own life because of a piece of gossip, destructive gossip that he couldn't quite handle. So you see how terrible gossip can be. What a horrible thing it is indeed. A lot of people agreed with me with what I put up on my Facebook wall. People were making comments. I hope many of you joined, because you said you were going to join the show. And somebody, Chinwema Ibokwe, is saying, I've learned a lot today. Thank you so much for letting me know. Thanks a great deal. That's just what I wanted. Antonio Kaga, hello. Good to see you. All right. So I think, you see, and finally, gossip is disobedience to God's laws. God said we shouldn't slander. There's a way we say it in the Catholic Church. It's so beautifully captured in Igbo. We say, Abala amase bagide madu ibegi. Yotago ase amase. Do not slander your fellow human being. Do not tell lies against your fellow human being. That's the way we say it. One of the 10 commandments. Abala amase bagide madu ibegi. Madu ibegi is a fellow human being. It's so, that thing touches me, because in Igbo, it really, the way we say it in Igbo is so sweet and so meaningful. It hit home. Abala amase, don't do this. Don't tell lies against your fellow human being. So you see, finally, it's against God's law. And God will come looking for you. If a piece of gossip you dropped about somebody ultimately probably causes that person to take his or her life, God, you will have to account to it before God. And it can keep you in hell, take you to hellfire. If you're a Christian and you believe there is hell and heaven, I do. I have a lot of reasons to do, evidences to believe that there is a hell, that there is a heaven. So if you're a Christian like me and you believe that, then it's time to stop gossiping, making destructive comments about other people, destroying their character, okay? Because God hates it. It can cost you a lot. Remember, my final advice here today, like I had said it earlier, never allow other people to conscript you to hate another person, because you don't know where that hate the person is spreading is coming from a heart filled with jealousy. So please don't be a weak and foolish person to help a jealous person calumniate another person. Okay? Fight somebody whom he is jealous of, because they are better than them, more intelligent, more talented, more popular, etc. Don't be that weak and foolish person that will be used by another person to achieve a cruel, wicked objective. That's my word, my advice to you. Thanks a great deal, a million times, for joining me today on Hello Ladies. Ladies, I know so many of you watching, so many of you listening have been victims of gossip. Don't worry. Please don't let it drag you down. Don't let you lead to suicidal thought. Never. You've got to hold your head high. God loves you, even if you think everybody hates you. Not everybody hates you. You've got your mom can never hate you. You've got your siblings. Above all, you've got God. You've got Auntie Joyce too. Talk to me. Let's talk about it like the other young girl. You can always reach me on phone. My public line is 0703 248 8575. 0703 248 8575. I'll drop it on my timeline too on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you all so very much, and let's get together again same time next week, Friday, on this same station. I love you so much. To heaven and back. Bye, to the moon and back. Bye. Thank you, Henry. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.